guys, welcome to this lesson, and today we're talking about the major and minor scales and also music terminology. So what is a major and minor scale? So a major scale is always happy and is brighter, and then a minor scale is darker and sad. But that's good if we're talking about it emotionally. But what are they? A major chord always contains the first, third and fifth note in a major scale. And the minor chord contains the first, third note, which is flattened, also known as being lowered, and the fifth note of the major scale that it's named for. The major scale will always contain a third or major note, while the minor scale will still have this third note, but it will be flattened by half a step. So let's do an example of a major scale. So we're going to do C major. So that's your first note. And then your second note is D, then E, F, G, A, B, and C. So as you can hear there, the first note is the same as the last one, but just an octave higher. So C down the octave and C up the octave. From your first note, you go up a whole note higher, which gets D. Then you only go up half a note, so a semitone for your third note in a major scale, which gives us E. Then you go up a whole note to F, another whole note up to G, another whole note up to A, another whole note up to B, and then a whole note to C. And yet again, the first and the eighth note are the same, just an octave higher, or an octave lower if you're looking at it backwards. Every major scale also has a relative minor scale, and every minor has a relative major scale. So how would we find the relative minor to the major? So for C major, start on your C. You have to go down 3 semitones to find the relative. So we go down, you're going down to B flat, to A. And then if you wanted to find the relative major to that minor, you go from A to B flat, to B, to C. So you go up or down 3 semitones. There's 4 notes, but you only count the 3. You don't count the one you start on. You count the next 3, and that will give you both your relatives. So now that we know A minor is the relative minor to the major, how do we know what the A minor scale is? Well, let's find out. So now we know the A minor scale. That's A minor there, the chord. But now what's the scale? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. Let's do it again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. So also the first and eighth note, again being the same also for a minor. But every scale must include each of one letter as well. It's one of the rules. So if you haven't got one of each letter in your scale, then you know you've gone wrong. So now we've talked about a natural minor, we now are moving on to another type of minor scale, which is the harmonic minor, meaning that the 7th note is raised by a semitone. So if we look at the A minor scale again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. But with the harmonic, like I said, the 7th note needs to be raised. So let's do the A minor scale with the 7th note raised, meaning that the G will now be a G sharp. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. Let's do it again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. With a harmonic scale, if your 7th note is already a flat, it will become a natural. And if the note is already a sharp, it will become a double sharp. Next, we're moving on to a melodic minor. Melodic minor means that the 6th and 7th note is raised by a semitone. So if we do A, then B, C, D, E. But when we get to F, it turns into a sharp. So F sharp, the G is also a G sharp, and then A. So let's do it again. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And that's how you do a melodic minor. So again, the 6th and 7th note is going up by a semitone. For harmonic minor, the 7th one is going up by a semitone. And for a natural minor, it's just the scale. Today, we're also going to cover music terminology, which I said at the start of the video. And we're covering 2 basic but really important music terminology. So first of all, we're going to look at dynamics. So the first one is pianissimo, which is written as PP, and that means very quiet or very soft. So for very quiet, that's if you're singing vocals, and then for very soft is if you're playing. Then we look at piano, which is P, and that's soft or quiet. Then you have mezzo piano, which is MP, and that's a little soft or a little quiet. Then now we're going to look at the louder ones. So if we go back to front again, so FF is fortissimo, which is very loud. F is forte, meaning loud, and MF is mezzo forte, which is a little loud. These are Italian words, and a lot of music terminology is actually Italian. The next one is tempo. So first of all, we have prestissimo, which is very, very fast. So that's 200 BPM. BPM stands for beats per minute, but we shorten it to those 3 letters just to make it easier to write. And also when you work in stuff like Logic and stuff, that is at the top and it's written as BPM. Next one we have is presto, which is very fast. So it's 168 to 200 BPM. Then you have allegro, which is fast, 120 to 168 BPM. And then you have moderato, which is probably the most easiest one to translate, which is a moderate speed. So 108 to 120 BPM. Then you have andante, which is a walking pace, 76 to 108 BPM. And then you have adagio, which is slow, so that's 66 to 76 BPM. And this one, the next one has 2 names, lento or largo, which is very slow, 40 to 60 BPM. So these are used all the time within music, and obviously it's used to keep you in time. So you just need to know when you are playing a piece of music or writing it, what the BPM is. It can be the same throughout, or it can change in certain sections of the songs. So just make sure if you are writing music, then you need to, state that in time signatures, or at least put it at the top of the sheet music. So that's all for today's lesson. So today we learned about the major and minor scale. We learned how to find a relative minor to a major, and then vice versa, so a relative major to a minor. And also we looked at how we'd play these scales and what the notes are, how we'd find them on the piano. And then we learned how to do a natural minor and how to change that into a harmonic or melodic one. And also we've touched on terminology, dynamics and tempo. If there's anything else or any questions, then please send me an email or write in the comments, and hopefully we can touch up on it again if we need to, or if there's any other terminology you'd like me to cover. See you all again soon. Bye guys.